What's up guys, welcome to another Code Geass Lost Story gameplay video. Today we're going over the Nightmare Frame Subjugation event, which is the latest thing that Lost Story had released. Now, unlike other stuff they've done in the past, this is a little different because we are going to fight a boss Nightmare Frame. And unlike most Nightmare Frames, this boss actually will take a lot of damage to kill. He's got new abilities and the gameplay is slightly different. This is a guild only event, so make sure you join one if you want to partake. And I definitely recommend doing so because the awards for this event are pretty awesome. If you don't actually have a guild to join, you can join my Discord server and we have a couple English speaking ones that should be available for you. Now in today's video, I'm going to first go over how the event works and then show some gameplay footage of me winning it, plus providing tips and strategies you can use if you choose to partake in this event. Okay, so let's first start with the event itself and how it works. When you first enter the event, it will give you this nice little pop-up screen you see here. If for some reason you decide to skip through it, you can always view it again by hitting the I button in this area right here. Anyways, let's get back to this one. How does the event work? Well, basically you're fighting this boss, like I said before. This Nightmare Frame is different from most because of how he attacks. See, normally Nightmare Frames will attack, so you don't have to worry about that, but he will jump and attack different Nightmare Frames at any given time. It says here it jumps, but really it's like teleporting almost. Like S.E.I.T.E.N or Bleach or Flash Step or any of those abilities. It's really kind of cool. Even the sound is actually quite on point. But basically, he will jump around and attack your different units. Now, the thing is, you can't use certain abilities on him. For example, Blow Away and Stun don't do anything. But Stealth will prevent your units from being attacked by him. So keep that in mind. To add more challenge to this, of course, regular Nightmare Frames will also appear. So not only do you have to defend your base like normal, but you have to deal with this boss. So again, the gameplay's been switched up a little bit here. Now this part here talks about the scoring. Now here's the thing, if you don't defeat the Nightmare Frame boss, you can still get points from doing damage to him because there's 3 different types of scores in the game, which we'll go over in just a second. But the important part here is, basically you want to keep playing this because you will keep getting an accumulated score, and that's very important for both your guild and for getting certain items. Let's get into how that works. So the first type of scoring you can do is an individual score, and that's based on how much damage you do to the boss in one battle. Which is why I said before, if you don't defeat the boss, you can still get points for attacking him. That's why it's always worth playing, even though you necessarily can't win. The reward, as you can see here, is the typical medals you normally get in the guild. So if you want to buy the stuff from that store, well, you got this way to get more medals. The next type of award, and this is actually the most important because it involves the guild, which is the total guild score reward. It says here Knight's total score reward, but there's different ways I see it translated. The way it works is, you have to essentially reach a certain number, a certain score, and that score is 50 million. So however you get to that is up to the guild. Assuming everyone partakes in the event and does a certain amount of damage every single day, it shouldn't be too hard to do. According to one guide I saw, you only need like 5 people to do it, but theoretically any number of people partaking would help. With 15 people in your guild, it shouldn't be too hard to get it, and knows that the award is 10 summon tickets. And as you guys know in this game, summon tickets are very hard to get. The next type of reward you can get is the personal cumulative reward. So the past one was like what your entire guild does as a whole. This one is how much you do as a whole. So if you keep completing the stages, or at least damaging the Nightmare Frame during those stages, you'll get a total score for that. And that's another way to get, of course, more guild medals. So it's worth doing. So in summation, you have 2 personal scores. One which accumulates all the damage you've done up to this point, and one you've done in one time. Your scores for both determine how many guild medals you can purchase. Then when it comes to the guild itself, there's also a cumulative score which is based on what everyone else contributes to the ultimate amount, and that will determine how many summon tickets you get when the event is over. If you have any more questions about the event, I'll leave a link in the description below which lists another way to describe the event where you can see more statistical information like how many medals and summon tickets you get per how many points you earn, which could be helpful information. The next thing to go over is that for this event they have a new pilot you can summon, which is Colin. This is specifically her Ashford uniform outfit. Now this pilot's actually very powerful if you want to go and summon her, and if you summon her, she gives you a bonus during the event, basically increases your score. This is the classic gacha game style where they encourage you to summon for the pilot because it'll help you in the event. You've seen this stuff before in other games and they're doing it here too. But now that we've gone over the event, let's now get to the gameplay, the reason why you're here. Okay, so here's the team that I'm going to be using. We have Cornelia, Colin, R1, that's the first one you get. Halloween Lelouch, Jeremiah, the normal Jeremiah of course, the first one you get. OG Valletta, that is Gino Weinberg, the first Yuffie you get. Cecile, Swimsuit, Beatard, and then Shirley. So a couple of the reasons why I picked certain characters is due to the fact how important they are to your success in this game. Okay, you see we have like Cecile, because she can do cost down, and she's also pretty powerful. D-Tard to cloak all your units, will come in handy a whole lot during this gameplay. And then of course, Yuffie to heal. Shirley's also going to be healing. I like her a little better than Millie, so that's kind of why I picked her instead, but either one could probably serve you well here. Then of course I have Gino in this group, or this team, because he has a cost down. He's pretty powerful. You could use Suzaku as well, it's totally up to you. And of course, D-Tard's the most important character here besides Lelouch, because they both cloak your units. And only survive this event is to cloak your units. Because when the enemy Nightmare Frame attacks the boss, it's very hard to fight him off when he's killing our units. So that's how that goes. Let's go into the actual gameplay itself. Okay, so that's the boss, and let's go see how this goes. We can click on it. Nice little loading screen here. We, of course, we see Arthur the cat running. I love the loading screens in this game. They're pretty good. Although they're super slow on mobile, which is extremely frustrating. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, there, it's kind of slow there. This one's pretty fast. Get it comments. Okay, so there we go. Here's the intro to the Nightmare Frame. Again, look how cool that is. I gotta admit, they did a good job with the animations here. So he's about to go in battle. Speaking of battle, here's our units going into battle themselves. I love that intro every time. It's always such a nice little element to get you excited for this battle. Okay, so this is the situation we're in. A couple things to keep in mind. You want to play in 0.5 speed. I'm going to start with Jeremiah in the middle right there. Doesn't really matter what spot you pick him, because he'll be gone as soon as possible. The whole thing with Jeremiah, you put him on the battlefield, then remove him, and then he's gone. I like how the guy tried to attack him, the Nightmare Frame, but it failed. I put Gino here, but technically you don't have to put him here. He'll help you out. He'll help Cecile, as you see right there, take on the Nightmare Frames, but you could probably put Gino by the enemy boss there. It doesn't really matter. I have D-Tard cloaking because, again, the way to win is you got to keep cloaking your unit. It's super important. I can't emphasize enough. You've got to cloak your units, otherwise he'll take them out. You notice how I sped up the game? The reason why I did that is because one of the keys of this game and other gacha games like it, you got to learn when to speed up, when to slow down. In this case, I sped up several times because often you have to, speed the game enough to get your costs to recover fast enough, or if you know you're pretty safe in 2x. So what you're going to do often is you want to constantly either go really fast or go really slow, just depending on the situation. This is one of the harder levels, so I have it on pretty slow most of the time. You see I put Colin in the back there. She's a defensive character, so she can hold on 3 or 4 at a time, especially with that Gurren, so she's pretty good to go. That's why she's there. And again, I'm just pausing here to let you guys know, you always have had the battlefield situation. He wanted to go attack Colin from there. See how he just teleported? It's kind of cool. But because Colin is very powerful, it doesn't really do much to phase her, so she's doing just fine over there. And then, of course, again, I have Gino and Cecile cloaked, so he can't touch them. Here's a really cool part. This is kind of awesome. He does his really cool special ability where he, look how cool this is. Every Nightmare Frame has a special ability, and that's his. In theoretically, this was real life, not real life, but like the actual show, Colin will probably be dead here, but again, it's just one single attack. But yeah, that animation's pretty badass. I won't show it to the rest of the gameplay, but yeah, I just want to show it once there. See how he just teleported? It's so cool. I know he jumps, but that's not jumping. He teleported. Now I'm going to put Yuffie here because I got to heal Colin. Yuffie's kind of squishy. Because that's the only problem with Yuffie. She's a really good healer, but man, she cannot take a hit, unfortunately. I'm going to put Jeremiah back into the battlefield. Again, you want to put him out and then send him back like that. You can send him, deploy and then remove him. Here's D-Tard. See, D-Tard's very important because you have to constantly cloak your units. Otherwise, well, they'll get killed off. Now, of course, Cecile and Gino are in trouble there, so I'm going to put Shirley to protect them. Constantly healing them, which is the important part there. I got 3 enemies here, actually I think 4, so I'm going to use Colin to wipe them all out. Pretty good stuff. The golden guy doesn't hurt Colin because she's far enough, which is great. And then of course we see we have Gino and still just taking out the trash there. We went behind Gino to attack him. Again, doesn't really do much for me. I use Gino's attack, doesn't really attack him, but it does take out the enemies, so it's good. The Tristan's a really powerful Nightmare Frame in this game. It's got insane range for the special ability. That's what's going on there. So again, we're just constantly attacking the enemies there. Notice we haven't done much for the Nightmare Frame itself, the boss, because I have to set up everything first. You gotta get your cost guys into the battlefield to constantly increase your cost so you can spend on the stronger units. And then once they're protected and safe, then you can start putting out the stronger units. Now here's Lelouch. This is very important. You gotta put in the very end. And the reason why is because while he's a strong annihilator, he's not stronger currently than my original Valletta. That's why I put him at the edge right there. Lelouch Halloween is so broken because he basically cloaks everything around him infinitely. There is never a time where the enemy's really able to attack him, and even though this boss can't really, he's not affected by certain effects. He can't attack enemies that are cloaked. That's why he never attacks Lucian this whole event. So Lucian is really OP. I'm gonna put Cornelia out here because her attack range is 3 with the Gloucester, and since his area is kind of small, I thought it makes sense to put her in that situation. Plus, you got Lucian in the back, so she'll be cloaked as well. Also, keep in mind with these, see the red areas there, you always want to be aware of where enemies are coming from at any given time, because let's say the enemies stop coming from one point, you can move your units from that area to support a different part of the battlefield. Just something to keep in mind. There we go. I missed with Gino there, but I'm going to use Shirley to again finish him, not Shirley, Cecile to attack the boss. Doesn't do much damage, but it is the Percival, so it's not exactly a weak Nightmare Frame either. I put out Dieter there as the cloak, and I think that might be a mistake because unfortunately, while they're protected, Yuffie isn't. And what's going to happen is after Cornelia uses her ability to take out the Nightmare Frame, or to battle the Nightmare Frame, unfortunately she didn't take him out. I wish she did. But this is still a really strong combination because you have Lelouch and Cornelia attacking at the same time, and eventually Valletta will join them. But anyways, because I didn't protect Yuffie, he used Sonido and took her out here. Now she's not dead yet, but unfortunately she's basically pretty low, and like I told you before, she's really squishy. So the boss is going to move again. Now for some reason I didn't deploy D-Tard yet. I should have removed him. Oh wait, I did remove him. Sorry, he's removed. That's you. That's Shirley. And there we go. He attacks Yuffie, and then down she goes. Cornelia's ability recharges pretty fast because she has the Nightmare Frame skill boost, I believe, or is it? I think it's actually a gauge boost. So she used her attack twice against him. I actually don't know what he is. Then we put Valletta out there, and then again the two. Now we have like the whole area basically covered. If you have that one Nightmare Frame with the Daltons, basically the Gloucester with the cannon, that thing's pretty powerful too because you get like 3 shots. This was a cool moment here. I used Colin Special to take out all 4 at once, which is great. Plus the boss, so that was a pretty epic moment. Gonna put out what's his name? Jeremiah again. Sorry, put the name there. You get more cost, and then here, this is just great. You can keep spamming Lelouch. You can keep spamming Cornelia, and eventually he's going to go down because we have him pretty much trapped in this corner. He can't really tag anyone else because, again, we have everyone cloaked. If he tags Colin, I mean, he's welcome to do so. But the thing with Colin is that she has excellent defense, and it's going to take a while to kill her. And if he got her down to, let's say, 1 HP left, her toughness kicks in, and she basically stayed alive anyway. So she's really powerful. Sonido again, I don't really give a crap. I can always have D-Tard cloak her, or if the battle keeps going too long, eventually Yuffie will be ready to join. But it doesn't really matter here because we're doing pretty well. D-Tard cloak again, Cecile, and actually, I believe I removed, hold on a second, I think I removed, oh yeah, I removed Gino because I wasn't going to put him into the area next to the boss, but didn't have to do that because Cornelia just finished him off, and that's the battle right there, and there you go. The key parts about this battle is that you want to make sure that you protect your units and make sure you have a strong basis of gaining cost, then put your strong units in a position to take them out. Other things you can try as well as you can potentially trap them. Like if you cloak certain units, you can have them go to the ones that aren't cloaked, and if you know he's going to go to that area, you can have like, let's say a couple of Annihilators ranged Nightmare Frames to take them out. That's worked for me in the past. But generally speaking, you got to protect your units, especially the higher levels. This guy can one-shot certain enemies. I'm sorry, your units. I wish he attacked the enemies, but your units. So that's something I keep in mind as well. Overall, my thoughts on this event are, I mean, it's kind of cool because this is definitely a different way to play the game. I mean, the boss is actually kind of scary. You don't know when he's attack your units, and you're often not ready. And what's crazy too is once the cloak goes off, he will like immediately rush you. It's actually kind of exhilarating in a terrifying sort of way. So I kind of like that part to it. At the same time, though, some of the battles take really long. I mean, this guy is basically a bullet sponge. So the battles are kind of drawn out. Like this one took roughly, I'm not sure how long, maybe like 4 to 5, maybe 7 minutes to take him out. So that's kind of annoying. And as the battles go on, it'll take even longer to finish him off. So that's something to keep in mind as well. This is kind of cool. And there you go. That's the strategy behind winning this battle and essentially defeating the boss here. If you enjoyed this gameplay footage of Lost Stories, and you're actually interested in playing the game yourself and you haven't started yet, what are you waiting for? Click on this video right now to download the game.